Top 10 best Final Fantasy video games. Are you ready to, are you guys ready to see some Watch Mojo with me? Let's react to this, yeah?
TGR.
This should be something. Let's see. I want to see what Watch Mojo believes their top 10 Final Fantasy are. Let's see. And I'm going to judge them every step of the way.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at the best the Final Fantasy franchise has to offer.
I mean, to be fair, chat, right, and Crystal in particular, these lists are subjective. Top anything is going to be subjective, right? So I'm going to judge them compared to my top list. And I haven't played every single Final Fantasy. I literally haven't played 1 through 6. I'm lying. I have played 3. But I haven't played 1, 2, 4, 5, or 6. So there's a big gap of mine. So that's why I've never wanted to do a top whatever list of Final Fantasy. But the ones that I've played, I have my top list, right? Or the ones that I actually have played. But let's just see. Let's see what they say.
Offer.
Oh, they're playing Wario. Okay. What the
Number
hell?
10, Final Fantasy Tactics.
Tactics, number 10. Not bad.
As Final Fantasy's first foray into the tactical RPG genre, Final Fantasy Tactics succeeded as not only its best spin-off, but one of the best games in the series.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Directed by Yasumi Matsuno, the man behind the excellent Ogre Battle series, Tactics featured grid-based combat and boasts a wide variety of classes the players can assign their characters to. The game follows the story of Ramza Beolve, a cadet who finds himself right in the middle of the War of the Lions.
I really need to make time to play this game. I really do. I've never played Tactics. I've only played Tactics Advance, which I really loved. I need to make time to play this game somehow. Remake when?
Over the Throne of Ivalice. Its riveting plot, addictive gameplay, and exceptional presentation, Tactics is a must-play for any Final Fantasy fan. Number 9, Final Fantasy XII.
12. Okay.
Expanding on Tactics and the World of Ivalice, Final Fantasy XII was a groundbreaking title for the PlayStation 2 that introduced many unique changes to the Final Fantasy formula. Most notable of these changes was the ADB system, which eliminated random battles, instead taking place on the same field the player explored.
Really great combat system,
which allowed players to assign fixed commands to its AI party members.
Really good combat system. 12's combat system was actually great. Did not enjoy the story too much, right? But the gameplay was exceptionally good.
The plot itself is the weakest part of Final Fantasy XII, as the protagonist Van was not an important figure amidst all of the politics that were going on. However, the rest of the game more than makes up for it, cementing it as one of the best JRPGs the PlayStation 2 has to offer.
Yeah, and I do agree. It's funny that people always say, like, you know, oh, it's the political aspect of the game that, you know, people didn't really enjoy. But it's not just
Number
the political
8,
aspect of it. Oh, 16, number 8. Okay. Maybe this list isn't going to be shit. But it wasn't just the political aspect of 12. I think the story overall, had a pacing issue. Because I remember playing it and just being like, it was like, it's not that I didn't understand it. I just didn't care to understand it. The characters weren't all that great besides like Balthier, you know? And it has been a long time, to be fair. I played it the one time back in 06, and I tried playing it on the PS4 with the Zodiac release. I forget what it's called right now. But the Final Fantasy XII, the re-release on PS4, I have it. I bought the freaking limited edition, the Steelbook one. Yeah, I couldn't even get through much of it, so.
Final Fantasy XVI.
Let's see what they have to say about 16. Curious. I'm happy to see it this high, honestly. I love this fucking game. I gotta say, so far, not bad. Tactics, right? 12 and 8, not bad.
The first Final Fantasy to reach next-gen consoles, 16 is a game-changer in more ways than one. It features high-octane real-time combat, which is extremely reminiscent of the Devil May Cry franchise.
Wonder why.
The narrative has a much darker and adult tone compared to the rest of the franchise, following the former Prince Clive and his quest to destroy all the Mother Crystals that decay the land. Another highlight is the icon battles, which are out of something you'd see from an episode of Attack on Titan, with its gigantic set pieces and dramatic moments.
Attack on Titan, huh? Like, I know Attack on Titan had inspiration on here, but...
Final Fantasy IV.
Oh, 4. I wish I could say something about 4. I never played him. You guys played 4?
Without a doubt, Final Fantasy IV is one of the most important entries in the franchise, given the precedents it set going forward. It revolutionized Final Fantasy with its active time battle system. And
yeah, ATB was pretty huge.
Something
pretty
uncommon
huge
at the time. It features a party of characters who are determined by the narrative rather than player's choice, creating an interesting dynamic. Key among them is Cecil, the protagonist, whose journey from Dark Knight to Paladin is unforgettable, to say the least. Final Fantasy IV is such a gem of a game that it continues to stand out amongst its modern contemporaries, despite its age.
Little Matsu soundtrack, man.
Number 6. Final Fantasy X.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. The disrespect. Final Fantasy X at number 6? At number 6? I'm obviously biased. It's my favorite Final Fantasy. But still, the disrespect. Final Fantasy X is incredible. No. This list is already out the window. God, these... Why did they get better footage? This looks like ass, Watch Mojo. You really couldn't find better footage?
All blown away when Final Fantasy X was released back in 2001 is truly an understatement. The PlayStation 2's technology pushed the franchise to new heights, making
it looked
visuals
incredible, man.
Incredible
Still looks good.
The game follows Blitzball superstar Tidus as he's whisked away from Xanarkand into the world of Spira. Here, he must go on a pilgrimage with the summoner Yuna to defeat the monstrous Sin, a gigantic whale-like beast that terrorizes the land.
That is not how Final Fantasy X looked. My TV did not look this pixelated, my friend. Sorry. It has some shitty 24-inch TV.
FF10 was a unique hit and became the first game in the franchise to get a follow-up sequel with Final Fantasy X-2.
X-2 was so good.
Number 5. Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh boy! Oh boy! 7 Remake! Oh, above 10! Ah! And I love 7 Remake, I do, but oh boy! No. Fuck no. Hell no. 10 has absolute perfect pacing. That game is relatively linear. And not even relatively. It's a linear experience. Much more linear than what came before. And the pacing, like, was amazing because of that, right? Like, it's just, you're constantly heading to the next step of your journey, and things are happening, and things are just constantly keeping you intrigued, right? The fish out of water scenario really worked with Tidus. And the budding romance between him, Yuna, the love between the summoner and her group. That story, finding out what it really means to go through the summoning and stuff, and the pilgrim... And then you get the first part of a remake trilogy that doesn't even have a cohesive ending? This list is absolute trash.
How the hell do we fight this thing?
And I love this game. Y'all know how much I love this game.
The internals can be overloaded. Lightning magic.
No other option, huh?
Ever since Square Enix showed a tech demo of FF7's opening at E3 2005, fans had been desperate for an updated version of the beloved classic. Fast forward almost 15 years later, and the wish of Final Fantasy VII Remake had finally been granted. Dropping the original's turn-based combat, Remake features a unique blend of real-time action with the 18.
Love the combat. Love the combat.
The game only
And don't get me wrong, you can judge, right? Remake, Rebirth, and obviously whatever the third game is, you can judge them as individual pieces of games. Like, that's fine. And yeah, sure. I mean, there's no reason why you can't put it in a list. Like, they're complete games. But what I'm saying is, like, I can't see Remake being better than a full-fledged Final Fantasy like 10 or 12 or Tactics. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good game, but it's a part of a bigger, I don't know. It's weird, man. It's weird.
Covers the Midgar section of the story, which had upset some fans. However, it more than makes up for this with shocking narrative changes, leaving room for more hype for its upcoming sequel, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Okay.
So, you had enough yet?
I love this fight. Yes, Rude, always with the glasses from Advent Children, baby.
Believe that I had.
That was such a cool
Number
moment in
4,
Advent Children.
Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, okay. Now we're cooking. We're
The
so
original
back.
version of Final Fantasy XIV was an absolute disaster, to such a degree that Square Enix decided to start it back up again from scratch. Taking its place was A Realm Reborn, an upgrade in every way. FF14 has one of the strongest stories in the franchise, with the Scions of the Seventh Dawn fighting against the mysterious Ascians being at its forefront. Gameplay-wise, it has an incredible amount of things to explore and do, like its dungeons and trials, that are so good you'll be wanting to replay them often.
They really are good.
Final Fantasy XIV is also notable for its excellent expansion packs, which continue its ever-growing story as well as adding a wide array of new content. Number 3, Final Fantasy IX.
Yeah, you guys called it. 6, 9, and 7 are definitely top. And honestly, like, I wouldn't even... Look, I like 9. 9 is a really good game. It really is. It's a good game. Good themes, good story. The theme of, like, dealing with your own mortality and stuff. It's a theme that is timeless, right? I would have to think about it. I haven't thought about of making a list of it, but this wouldn't. I think this would be maybe like 5 or 6 if I had a top whatever I played of Final Fantasy.
The swan song for mainline Final Fantasy on the PS1, Final Fantasy IX is a throwback to earlier games in the franchise, while also maintaining modern improvements from its era. The game stars Thief Zidane, who, after kidnapping Princess Garnet, ends up becoming her protector from evil forces. With its outstanding characters, locations, and story, Final Fantasy IX oozes charm. The game also distinguishes itself for being the last game where franchise legend Nobuo Uematsu was the sole composer. Number 2, Final Fantasy VI.
Not surprised at that. So you know what that leaves, right, for the end. Look, again, I want to reiterate, like, I really like 9. All of these games are actually fucking good games. None of these games are bad. And putting, like, Final Fantasy IX as, like, say, my number 5 or number 6 pick, like, that's still a good-ass game. I really need to play 6, though. I never played 6. I always wanted to, and I just never got around to it. But I have heard, obviously, amazing things about 6, you know. For many,
this is the best game in the franchise, and it's hard to argue against that. Final Fantasy VI is the complete package and boasts one of the best stories in gaming, supported by a richly developed cast who each have their own personal arcs and goals. Of note is its villain Kefka, the comedic evil clown, standing out as the biggest threat any group of heroes in the series has ever faced.
See, do they do it? I want to hear it. Come on.
Final Fantasy VI is a timeless classic that needs to be played
Kefka
by
laugh
anyone
ball,
even
blue balls,
remotely
bro.
interested in the franchise.
That's all,
Before
friends.
we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable
Oh, honorable mentions, baby.
mentions. Final Fantasy VIII. Don't let its weird leveling system prevent you from playing this.
8 is fucking sick.
Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII. More than just a
No, you did not put Crisis Core as an honorable. It's a fucking spin-off. No. Over 13. And I know 13 was just as divisive as fucking 15. Come on, bro.
prequel, this game will break your heart.
The face?
The eyes.
You like them? Then take a closer look.
Final Fantasy XV.
No! Don't you dare. Don't these if okay, I'm telling you right now, if these motherfuckers don't put 13 as honorable mention, they put fucking 15, it's over.
Excellent work. On we go.
Before we continue,
Oh, they did it! They did it! They did it! They put 15! Oh boy! Oh man, 15. And like, I was kind of hoping that they actually, made sense. And I really want to reiterate, this is this is all subjective shit. There is no definitive list. There's no objectively correct definitive list. Every Final Fantasy game is good. There is no bad Final Fantasy game. There really, truly is not a bad Final Fantasy game, right? They're all good. You know what I mean? However, there are some things that I find myself questionable. You're not going to put 8 and 15 in the same level, baby. It's just, Roger, no offense, man. I know. No offense to 15 fans at all. To be fair. 15 does a lot of things that are good, a lot.
number 1, Final Fantasy VII.
Who would have thought?
Final Fantasy VII raised the bar for RPGs and made Final Fantasy the mega franchise it is today. Deep in lore, the plot is one of the most beloved in all of video games, still vigorously discussed by fans. And its storytelling is made all the more engaging through a well-written and memorable cast of characters such as Cloud, Tifa, Barret, as well as villain Sephiroth, and a soundtrack that is perfectly tied to its themes and tones. Final Fantasy VII's tracks have never left listeners' hearts and minds, with One Winged Angel remaining a standout. These elements have truly earned Final Fantasy VII its status of masterpiece. It's no wonder then that this entry continues to be the main focus of the company, Square Enix.
Jesus, dude. Haven't seen the animation in so long.
Which Final Fantasy is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below.
Look, I don't want to shit too much on Watch Mojo, right? It's fucking Watch Mojo. There's only much you could say about them, right? But 10 was way too low. 10 was way too low. What's the other one? 9, I know this is blasphemy for some of you. 9 was way too high. And 14 would probably be a little bit higher too. 14 was what? 4, they put it at number 4, right? 14. If I were to make a list, 10, 7, 14. And that's because Shadowbringers brought 14 up that high. I really fucking like Shadowbringers. 8, 16, and then 9. There you go. Yeah, that's my top 6. There you go. You got a top 6 for me. Look, I like Final Fantasy 9. I do. It's not my favorite. 9, 4, 7 remake, 16, 7. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. The 7. The thing with 7, and to keep it on par with whatever we're talking about. The thing with 7, dude, it's like not only was obviously it changed the game quite literally when it first came out in 1997. But it did things with its story that not a lot of games had done before. I mean, yes, Final Fantasy had done death of characters and stuff. But I think with the added third dimension, with the added cinematics, with the added like quality of music and everything, right? The technological like groundbreaking, the technological ground that was broken with 7 added to everything that you could feel in that game. And then Aerith's death, dude, fucking hit, man. So yeah. And also Cloud, like so much for Cloud, dude. Cloud is such a good character, and the story and everything. Man, it's just good. 7 is good. I don't think it's my favorite. Obviously, it's like my second favorite, right? But for a long time, 8 was my favorite, and 10. 8 and 10 have always been my favorite for a long time. It wasn't until Remake made me appreciate the story so much more that when I went back and like kind of looked at 7 and thought about 7, you know. Yeah, I like it more. Remake made me appreciate 7 more, which is interesting, you know.